This is an orthokeratology case. We have an Asian patient with small fissures, and we can see in the posterior topographies the lens is moving off nasally in the right eye, maintaining good centration in the left eye, but the amount of correction is a little bit less than what we're looking for, and the patient has about a diopter of residual myopia. And so in this case, I think since in the left eye the centration of the treatment zone looks pretty good, I probably wouldn't make too many adjustments to the fit of this lens. Increasing the topomin will help with the vision, and if the lens goes back to where it is right now, I think you'll get a pretty good visual result. In the right eye, the submitted post-wear refraction was plus a quarter minus 50, and so it's pretty close to plano. If you're looking for a plus 50 target post-wear refraction, you can build in a little bit more demand to this lens. But the main change I make to the lens in the right eye is to try to get it aligned better centrally. And two ways we can do that is to steepen the periphery of the lens, and also looking at this cornea, I'm measuring pretty close to an 11, and so we can probably increase the diameter of the lens in the right eye. I think we're working with a 10.6 originally. I might bump that up to 10.8, and that should help with centration. So I'm going to bring up 2 copies of the lens for the patient's right eye. The same lens in both windows right now. It's the lens that the patient is wearing at the time. And so first thing I would change is we'll bump this up to 10.8. And by doing that, you can see that we've increased the sagittal depth of the lens, and that in itself will help, I think, with centration. The other thing I'm going to do is steepen the periphery of the lens by maybe 7 or 8 microns. So if we're at about 1.2, we're looking for a target of around 9.2 max. So if we click down here, getting close, maybe a little overshot. Okay, so I think either one of these settings will work. And then I'm going to go around to the different meridians and just make sure we're fairly consistent in all the meridians. Yeah, and that looks pretty good. So we've made this lens a little bit bigger. We've added just a little bit under 100 microns of depth to the lens. I think that will help the lens stay centered a little bit better. We do need to readjust the center thickness since we changed the diameter. And then if you wanted to, you can build in a little bit more topo demand here. Maybe bring this up to approximately a 1.4 or so. And then again, I would go through each meridian and make sure we're consistent all the way around.
This is my game. Are you sure this is okay?
So that should take care of the right eye, and then I'll bring up the lenses for the left eye. Wrong lens. Okay, lens for the left eye. This is the one where the treatment zone looks fairly centered, but we do have residual myopia. So I'm going to increase this. I'm going to add a diopter into there for a target of plus 2.2. I'm going to do this in 100% mode. Oftentimes, we don't need a full, it's not really a one-to-one relationship. I will put pretty close to the full residual correction into the lens, but if we're going to fudge, I will always fudge lower than the target. So 2.18 is going to be our target, and then we just want to Again, flip through and make sure we're pretty close in the different meridians. No, it's looking pretty good. All right. Again, as far as changing the diameter of this lens, or if we look at the topography, it is a little bit loose in the periphery, but the lens is centering well. And I would say if it's centering well, even though the topography does not look ideal, I would not change the fit to the lens unless we needed to. So here's the lens with increased topo demand. Not changing the fit or the diameter of the lens should help with the patient's vision. So I hope this helps your patient. Best of luck, and thanks for watching.